Hi, everyone. Paul Capozio here, and we're going to talk about spinning plates or hatching eggs. So this is going to be a little bit longer one, so you could either plug in a little at a time, or you can put this on at a time where you really can focus on it. I want you to come back to this from time to time, because this will mean different things to you in different stages of your network marketing career, okay? Not everything you're going to be able to relate to yet, depending on where you are in the business and where you want to be, and as our mindset changes. So let's talk about spinning plates or hatching eggs. I'm going to start with the positive first. And the positive is if you're not spinning plates, meaning if you're not having 50, 60, 70 people in some stage of interest in the beginning of this, and you're having trouble getting back to the person you contacted earlier, then you're doing it correctly. Think about on the old Johnny Carson show, if you're old enough, that the guys used to set up these little sticks and they would put plates on it and spin the plate so the centrifugal force would keep it on the stick, and they'd run down. And sometimes they'd have 12, 13 plates set up in a row. And the little guy would have to run all the way back to the beginning just as the first plate was starting to wobble and fall, and he'd spin it back up again, right? Or sometimes from time to time, a plate would fall off and he'd have to place a new plate on there. All of that is a very valuable lesson. This is how you build your business. You don't sit and hatch an egg and wait someone. If you've said to your upline, if you said to yourself, gee, I sent out these six bits of information and nobody's getting back to me. Okay, you should never say those words because you're not putting out enough information. This is not a trial and error. If you needed to feed your family and you needed to can enough tomatoes to get you through the winter, would you plant 6 tomato plants or would you plant 100 tomato plants? You need to plant 100 tomato plants. So I want you to go to the point where somebody is texting you and saying, hey, Paul, did you mean to send this video to me 2 weeks ago, or was this spam? And I'd say, oh my God, yeah, I'm really sorry. I meant to follow up with you on that. But yes, I did mean that to you. And then I don't say anything else. All right. And I will wait for that response. And again, I will keep moving forward down the line, you know, continuing forward. Right. What we want to do now is we want to go in and zero back in on that person. And you can. That person may text you back 30 seconds later. If they text you back, okay. All right, I don't text back anything. If they text you back, oh yeah, well, I did watch it, man. It's pretty cool. Then I'm going to go in. So you have to understand that you need to have so many things on your plate or so many plates spinning in the air that you're not the guy sitting on the egg trying to hatch it, because what happens is you'll get frustrated. And by the way, this business is built on, it's funny. I was talking to a kid that's just getting into the insurance business, and he told me about residual income. And he said, well, I already have a residual income business. I'm in the insurance business. And once I get a customer and I sell them a policy, I'm going to make money every single month on that policy. He goes, I make, a good amount of money when they sign them. And what does that mean? It means that they paid a higher price to get in because they could pay for the commission. And that's okay. We all make a living, and that's what we get paid for. And then a little bit of the premium that they pay every month goes to the salesperson. Yes, that is residual income. And what I found is reproducible, okay, exponential residual income. The only thing out there for that is network marketing, meaning that if I bring someone into my business, yes, I make something when I bring them in and I get something every month from them buying. But if I treat them right and I educate them and I help them plug in, or hopefully, they're better at it than I am, they're going to reproduce. Now what I'm doing is I'm building teams. I'm building the ability to duplicate. And the concept is, even if one person left me, but 2 people came on because of my organization, I still have positive attrition. I lost 1, gained 2. That can sustain forever if that's done correctly with the right company, the right people, and the right product. So understand the difference between activity and productivity. Productivity is moving forward, right? And keep going and let the people come in and follow, versus activity trying to sit on that egg and hatch it. That's activity, but it's not doing anything, you know? Let's go to the next slide. So, understanding human nature, especially when it comes to prospecting. So, here's the big thing. I'm big on turning cold markets into warm markets. Well, what does that mean? It means that I could meet someone today that I don't even know in another part of the country, and if the timing is right, within, a week or 5 days, I'm actually kind of friendly with that person. And I'll tell you how I do it. I don't try to sell my product on social media. I don't try to coerce people into my opportunity on social media. I use social media exactly what it's for, as a social environment for me to meet and interact with new people. Okay, when I was a kid, CB radios were huge, and I used to sit up in my attic with a big antenna on the roof, and I would talk to people all over my neighborhood. And then, as the hobby grew for me, I was able to speak to people all over the country, because these things like single sideband. And I don't want to get into the details of CB radio, but you could gradually keep expanding your universe once you learn how to operate equipment and afford to buy better equipment. So that being said, social media to me is the new CB radio, and we could instantly reach the world. But you need to BFF. You need to build friends first. You need to find someone in groups that you like. You need to comment on them and build these micro relationships to the point where you could actually friend a stranger. Then when you friend a stranger, I'm still not adding them to my list until once they accepted my friendship and I have a few more interactions with them, then they go on my physical list. It's a physical book. Hold on a second. Here you are. I mean, I'm in my office right now, and I'm actually paging through, so you don't think I'm full of it. But I add them to the list then, and then I'm going to figure out when I'm going to work them. Now, you said this may feel like a very slow process. No, guys. This is what I teach my team, and if your upline agrees with it, great. If they don't, do what they say to do. But what my method is that I want my new people to go through and learn their skill set on the people they already know, which may or may not be more understanding. I find it much easier to contact a complete stranger than it is to contact someone, a family member or a friend, that may have preconceived notions, right? So, and they're more willing to give you their opinion, where other people are just like, well, let me listen to this first and see what it's all about. So understand that you want to build a micro friendship, and then you want to look for an opportunity. So, also, and here's another thing. People have no idea why you're calling them or what you're talking about. Even halfway into the pitch, or you think you're doing a pitch, they don't know what this is all about. So you need to manage the expectation. Let them know what's coming. Now, I'm gonna click on something else here, and I want to show you. So look at this guy. Look at the alligator, right, lurking in the water. Do you know when you start to send someone a video, that's exactly what they're looking you look like to them? Understand this. If you understand this, you will have much more success. So, I'll give you a perfect example through a story or an anecdote, really. I'm going to a wedding, and I wanted to wear a crisp white shirt for the wedding, and I have some white shirts, but I wanted something specific. I wanted a different collar. What they call a narrow spread collar. I wanted French cuffs because I wanted to wear cufflinks. I think it would look sharp. So I'm a 36-37 white Oxford shirt, with a certain collar, right? So I go to the department store. Now I'm walking in, and 3 people come up to me and say, "May I help you?" And what is my answer? What is the number one answer that people give when they walk into that situation? "Oh, no thanks. I'm just looking." No, you're not. But the key is that is a normal response, and you need to allow your prospects to go through the just looking phase, or just say, "I'm not really interested right now." They're going to do the pushback. Why are you not going to accept that and let them have that experience? So approach them with something. Allow them to have the just looking experience, or hold on a second. They're going to have that defense mechanism comes in. It's a normal response for everyone to have. They're not sure what you're going to propose. They're not sure if they want it. They just don't want to indicate to you. They want to be able to put up that barrier. Allow that to happen and allow that to subside, because eventually people go into that store. Everyone's leaving with shopping bags, right? So understand that they will buy, but you have to let them go through the normal managing the expectation of let them figuring out at their own speed what this is. That could be in 30 seconds they could get to a yes. It could be in 30 days, and it could be, in my case, 10 years before they said yes to a network marketing opportunity. So understand that going in. And what solves all of these problems? Keeping forward, spinning plates, not hatching eggs. So if you call first, you lose. What do I mean by that? Let the video do the work. Let your information do the work. When you call, If you call first with the opportunity and not re-engaging the friendship, you're going to lose. The next thing I want you to do is this. Create cheerleaders, okay? Sometimes you can do what's called the leapfrog effect, where you could look over the head of your prospect and talk to them as if you're asking them to help you recruit people. So one thing to do, it kind of takes some pressure off those of us that are uncomfortable talking about our opportunity in the beginning, is to say, hey, can you do me a favor? People love to do people favors if they're friends. Can you find me some people that you think might be interested in this business? Don't even ask them sometimes. It's just a technique to use to help you get over the fact that you're not prospecting them, you're helping them prospect, you're asking them to help you prospect. If that works for you, whatever little things we can do to get over the emotional nervousness that comes up with this, then do that. Okay, but do it with your express purpose. Again, but don't do it right away. Build your relationship again. So connect and reconnect. So connect with new people and turning your cold markets into warm, but reconnect with people. Don't talk to the person from high school and in 30 seconds get into what you're doing and how you're doing it. They may feel a little used because they thought, oh my God, I haven't spoken to you in 30 years or 20 years. How's it going? To, oh my God, they're selling me something. And that's not how you should build this business. Relationship marketing, network marketing is built by finding people that you think you could run with in your future. And that is not everyone. All right. But you could find people that you get along with because they're going to find people with different interests and everything, and they could get along with. So now the next thing is feed your plants. I want you to come back to the people that you put in the business on a regular basis, come back to the people that you prospected on a regular basis, and just kind of feed them a little bit about what's going on in your life. You will be a better person when you go back on someone. I'll give you a perfect example. The first person I pitched on this business did not get in probably for about 6 months in. Now, do you think that has to do with my ability to express myself after doing this for 6 months and after 1 month? Yes. It was also the possibility of them, watching our success and growth. All of that is true. So understand that a no is just a no right now. Next thing is acting on opportunity. If you see someone expressing something that you feel the product or the opportunity will help, that's acting on opportunity. Hey, I noticed you mentioned this, and I wanted to tell you what we're doing to overcome that. You may be interested. Do you have 3 minutes to watch a video? The next thing is create an opportunity. Hey, does anybody feel this, or does anybody, would like this type of a change? Again, don't be specific, but you're looking to create opportunity or act on an opportunity. So, personal development. Guys, I'm going to hit this slide very, very hard. If personal development or the rah-rah thing or that Tony Robbins BS bothers you, there's a mindset issue that you need to get over. Okay, if you realize that, oh, I don't get into that whole mumbo jumbo, that is your limiting belief. That is your limiting belief manifesting itself right there in front of you. There is a benefit for it. Now, you don't have to be a Tony Robbins fan. You could be a Jim Rohn fan. Or if Jim Rohn is too mild, you can go Tony Robbins or Gary Vee, who's got the F word every 30 seconds. But whatever your style is, plug into a personal development person you will relate to. And let me tell you what happens. Go with what you like first, and then all of a sudden you will like them all. You will like them all because you will pick up something different every single time. Books, videos, YouTube. Look, don't go out and spend a whole bunch of money. I hate when people go out and say, I'm going to do my personal development. Look, Paul, I bought this book, I bought that book, and they come back and they spent like $60 or $100 in a bookstore and have all these books. And let me tell you what, they don't read it. Buy one thing that appeals to you first, and then don't buy the next until you finish it. Here's another thing. Tap into YouTube. It's free. All right? Yes, everybody has a better version and an upgrade, but get your free stuff first and commit to it. The next thing is, when do you do it? Every single day, especially before a call, to get yourself fired up to make those calls. Don't get too fired up. You don't want to be screaming at the person and vomiting information all over them. And utilize the three-way call. Let the let your upline do the three-way call and listen to what they have to say. I tell people, introduce the person to me, tell me how you know them, and then shut up and then let me go. And you'll see more and more you will start doing more and more of the call and more of the call. Now, before you prospect, it's real important to get fired up, but after prospecting, I want to tell you guys that yes, sometimes you can get frustrated because you're prospecting and you get a lot of no's that day. That's a great way to do personal development about the never give up stuff, right? We all know never give up. So the why you do personal development is really self-awareness. We think we know who we are, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh my God, really? That was me? You know, those limiting beliefs, that's what's holding me back. You know, if the people who never achieve what they're really looking for, most of it is because they make great excuses. And the better your excuses, the less success you're going to have when you really want to get there. And I'm talking about people who are already millionaires will still have that limiting belief stuff going on. You know, like that's the only way they could have made their money, you know, that one thing. No, I find that very hard to believe that if their father didn't do X for them, they wouldn't have Y. I think that if they truly took what was given to them and they grew that into the next level, no, that was them. Yes, they may have had a good start and it may make some of us jealous, but they were able to take it to the next level. From wherever you start, you can double, you can triple, you can quadruple. Then where are you going? What's your roadmap? You know, we need to stay on track of what our roadmap is. It's easy to get distracted. I call it, you know, success ADD. I have real ADD. I mean, I've been diagnosed, but there are people with success ADD when they're going down that road and they'll find some silly, stupid thing like a cat video on YouTube instead of watching personal development. That is a limiting belief right there. You're getting off that path. You know, and it's your mind controlling you that way. Effectiveness and focus. You need to be able to come back and learn how to focus. We need to learn these tools. We're not taught in school about motivation, about effectiveness, about focus, about money management. We're not taught any of these things. You need to teach yourself them. Okay. And money management doesn't always mean, you know, putting, you know, sometimes you need to reinvest in yourself. Sometimes you need to take a chance. So we're at the close of this. We're about 16 minutes in. I appreciate those guys who stayed. Come back, hit this at different times. But guys, you got to push through to get this information into your head. Think plate spinner, right? You want to have 50, 60 people in some stage of activity, you know, so you're not sitting on one person saying, are you getting in? Are you getting in yet? Are you getting in? How about today? How about tomorrow? You know, well, let me help you out. Oh, can I give you a bottle? None of those things work for people who don't want it. You want people who are looking. Stay in the top 10%. What does that mean? If you're plugging into personal development, if you are watching these videos and trying to get your training, if you are going to live events, you are in the top 10% of network marketers. The top 10% of network marketers are plugged in and turned on to what's going on. The next thing is build your story. Guys, everybody who has a product story, a testimonial, does that much better in the business. So build yours. Also, tell your story. Did you relate to Linda and I? Do you relate to Jen Larsh? Do you relate to Dr. Dale Dawson? I call him Dr. Dale Dawson. Do you know, John Colley, the roofer? Who do you relate to? Rocco Biardi of New York City fireman, injured on the job. So understand that you need to build your story, and who do you relate to? If you relate to that person, we'll plug into them, but build your own story. Learn your product too. Don't get bogged down in this, but learn some things about the product, how it's relating. Look at the testimonial pages. Be able to express to people the why that they would love this product. The next thing is learn to love the cold market. I want you to utilize the techniques that I've been teaching about meeting new people and developing a cold market into a warm prospect. And you could literally do it over time and have 600. I call it the never-ending list. I can teach you how to build a never-ending list of warm prospects up to 600 per month if you do the work. And guess what? If you fall short and only get 100 a month, it still gives you work to do. The next thing is personal development over and over and over again. And the last thing is do not fear success. You think that you would know exactly what to do with $100 million if you want it. The answer is you don't. The thing is we fear success. We would be more happy about winning the lottery because there's no commitment there than to try to go out and build a business, and we'll find every excuse not to do it. That's a fear of success. What would we do if we made it? Or what if we only were halfway successful? All of these things come in, these limiting beliefs come in and put pressure on you. Guys, thanks for listening. We got out of this in 20 minutes. Have a great day.